Sorry. Good afternoon, teacher, parents, and friends. Welcome to Canisius Education Fair 2022. My name is Brilianto Aryakusumo, and I'll be the host for this session. In this session, we will be hearing a presentation from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University by Mr. Philip and Mr. Cyrus. The presentation will be for 20 minutes, and there will be a Q&A session for 10 minutes. Without further ado, to Mr. Philip and Mr. Cyrus, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Billy. So my name is Philip from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. In short, we call ourselves PolyU. So I'll just start my presentation really shortly, and I'll pass the time to both Cyrus and Stanley. So I'm from the Global Engagement Office, so mainly responsible for helping out international students for any of their questions. So firstly, of course, PolyU, we're located in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is known for being the bridge between China and the Western world as well. So a lot of business opportunities there. A lot of multinational corporations would set up their branches or even headquarters in Hong Kong. So there are a lot of opportunities for the international graduates there. And aside, English is we're well versed with English. And so even if you don't speak any Chinese, you'll be fine in Hong Kong with only English alone. And aside, Hong Kong is known for their education system. So there are actually 8 government-funded universities represented by the pins and also PolyU by a red logo. And so zooming in, PolyU is actually right in the middle of the city center. So really, really convenient in terms of exploring Hong Kong and also just traveling around in general. Around us, there are actually 4 metro stations. So it's just really convenient getting around and all that. So besides that, I do want to mention also Hong Kong has a very attractive scheme for international graduates, which is called Immigration Arrangement for Non-Local Graduates. So basically, after 7 years of stay, you can stay in Hong Kong, gaining the permanent residency. And so how it goes, basically 4 years of university study would count towards that. And afterwards, you can apply for this IANG, getting 1 year extra stay in Hong Kong. So normally, if you just apply for it, you'll get it. And then you can either look for work or look for further studying opportunities. And afterwards, the remaining 2 years, you can get your either employee or the university that you'll be doing further study with for the remaining 2 years of visa. In that case, you'll gain a permanent residency. So you have the right to abroad Hong Kong, to work in Hong Kong, to stay in Hong Kong, and all that. So it's really convenient. All right, so going to PolyU really quickly. As of now, we're ranked 65th by QS University ranking. We also rank 5th by Times Higher Education in terms of young university ranking. So only English is the medium of instruction in PolyU. So again, if you don't know any Chinese, you'll be fine. All right, really quickly jumping into the programs that we have. Obviously, there are differences comparing the 8 government-funded universities in Hong Kong. And for PolyU, we are especially well known for our engineering program. And besides, something more niche, you can say, design program, hotel management, and also fashion design. So we have 6 faculties and 3 schools. 1 new school this year that I'll quickly introduce late in the future slides. So firstly, going to Faculty of Business, we are ranked 25th in Business and Economics by Times Higher Education. So going with accounting, management, marketing, financial services, and also something unique to PolyU alone, which is international shipping. So concerning especially supply chain management. And aside of Faculty of Construction and Environment, this is really well known around the world. We're ranked 15th in that category. And also just going into different majors that is concerning building a structure and then also maintaining it and eventually maybe retrofitting or tear it down and then replanning again. So aside, Faculty of Engineering, we're ranked 11th by Best Global Universities for engineering ranking by US News and World Report. So within there are actually 8 different departments. So a wide variety of choices that you can choose from in terms of major. And aside, Faculty of Health and Social Science, Faculty of Humanities going to Linguistics, Faculty of Science, we do also offer data science, which has been a hot topic recently. So for that, it goes into applied mathematics and also with a spin of business aspect to it as well. And so something interesting that you can look into, definitely. And the 3 schools, School of Design, we're ranked 16 in the world in this. School of Fashion and Textile, which is actually just established in this July. And this going to fashion design. And also, last but not least, a School of Hotel and Tourism Management, which we ranked 10th in the world. And for this, you're actually looking at the Hotel Icon, which is owned by PolyU, a 5-star hotel itself, and it's actually run also by the students. So the students will intern inside it to get all the hands-on experience. And to go into, I guess, some unique features of PolyU curriculum, I mentioned about the applied base or hands-on experience for the School of Hotel and Tourism Management, which also built into our curriculum work integrated education. So all students graduating from PolyU, they'll finish with at least one internship under the belt. A lot of them will go on to get 2 or 3 or even more. That's up to you, but definitely different choices, a lot of resources for you available as well. And so just, some of the examples of our internship partners, if you are in accounting school, let's say, the big 4 accounting firms would be our internship partners. So each year they'll be recruiting students from PolyU in that case. And besides global exposure, we do highly encourage students to go on exchange. Around the world, we actually have more than 270 exchange partners. And so by going also, we'll actually subsidize you for part of your, well, firstly, it'll cover your flight tickets and also part of your living subsidy possibly. And there are also additional fundings that you can apply for, assuming, well, of course, if you have really good academic standing, that possibly some students by going on exchange, they'll actually gain some money in that sense. And besides the academic exchange during the semester, there are also different type of summer exchange, such as research abroad program or joining the Oxford or Cambridge summer school, and then also various fundings for international competitions that is related to your major. And for PolyU, we have 2 residential halls. Students international students are guaranteed their first year of stay during this 4-year study. And afterwards, the 2nd year to the 4th year, it will be depending on, I guess, firstly, availability of rooms, and then also, of course, how heavily involved you are in the hall community in that case. And so hall general environment, most of the rooms would be a double room. Some of them would be a triple room, which would be bigger, but you'll be sharing a room with another individual. All the rooms, all the floors, they are single sex. We don't do mixed gender. So just making it clear. And besides, for PolyU curriculum, it will be a 4-year study, of course. During your first year, most of your time will be spent in the general university requirements. And then afterwards, you'll dive into a major. Some of the students, depending on the majors, they can also select a secondary major, which have 2 choices. One is called artificial intelligence and data analytics. And the other one is called innovation and entrepreneurship. So, so some of the majors, you will have the choice to choose either one. If you want to also, you can also pick up a minor. But I do want to put it beforehand, in PolyU, it's not common to have double major because most of the major themselves are recognized by certain professional bodies or Royal Society in terms of research. And so there are different requirements that students would need to complete, okay? All right, so say if you're interested in PolyU, what do you need? Firstly, depending on the curriculum you're in, you have that requirements, and aside the English requirements, and also some of the majors would have specific requirements. So I mentioned about School of Design, they will require a portfolio, okay? And then aside all of this, there will be an interview arranged by the faculty with you. So you'll be interviewed by a professor probably. And then assuming if you have your final results, we'll give you a firm offer. If you do not have your final results, which is more common actually, so you will actually issue you a conditional offer. And then afterwards, until you fulfill, like say, certain conditions by submitting your final results, then the offer will become a firm offer in that case. All right, so concerning minimum general requirements. So firstly, you need your high school certificates. I listed also IB and A-level just in case if there are other people who study in those curriculum. But for Indonesian curriculums, you only need your high school certificates. And generally speaking, you'll need an 80% average score in your ujian sekolah. Okay, so 80% in the average. But of course, we do offer also scholarship, which would require higher marks, obviously. And English requirements would have, well, typically, I guess students would either take TOEFL or IELTS, but just in case, say, if you have taken, say, IGCSE, getting a great CO4 in English, then you'll be good too. All right. So I listed all here that you only need to satisfy one of them. That's it. And then for fees and expenses, just in case, I'll pull this away. Right here. So each year tuition fee was cost 145,000 Hong Kong dollars, which roughly translate into 270 million rupees. And then with university accommodation during your first year, it'll be 13,000 Hong Kong dollars, 24 million rupiah. And then personal expenses really depends on how you live your life, obviously. And in total, each year will cost you around 390 million rupiah. Okay. And so talking about fees, obviously we do offer scholarship as well. So it's merit-based entry scholarship. So we look at your academic results. And so for interview, well, aside from the scores you'll get from, say, Ujian Sekolah, your interview performance will also be looked at. And then for scholarship-wise, we have 3 tiers of scholarship. So ranges from 50% tuition fee waiver, 100% tuition fee waiver, and also 100% tuition fee waiver plus living subsidy, which will be equate to 50,000 Hong Kong dollars. So usually that will cover majority of your living expenses already. And so for these scholarship, they are renewable each year upon your entry. You do need to meet the or satisfy the GPA required, which usually would be 3.2 out of 4, so roughly a B plus. So if you have that average, then you or your scholarship for next year will be automatically renewed. Okay. And for our application for 2023-24 academic year, the application will begin on 22nd September 2022, so which be on this month. Okay. Early round deadline 15th of November. So again, usually by then you won't have your final results, which is okay. So normally you can talk to your counselor and then for them to provide maybe a predicted score for your Ujian Sekolah. And then I will highly encourage students to apply by early round because there are more scholarships available. Usually by main round deadline, most of the scholarship will be given out. But nonetheless, the main round deadline would be 7 February 2023. Okay. In terms of applying, you only need to visit our application portal, and it will be one-stop portal where you can also apply for the scholarship as well on there. So you don't need to visit other websites in that case. So if you're interested, you want to stay in touch, or you want to get more information, here's all the information on our social platforms, whatnot. And also my personal email if you have any questions. So philip.ty.chang@poly.edu.ch. All right, so that's for my part. So I guess I'll pass the time to, well, I guess Stanley first and then Cyrus. How about that? All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Philip, for this time. I will do the presentation now. Is everything okay? We can start. Apakah sudah bisa dimulai?
Yes, the presentation is visible.
Oke. Sudah bisa dimulai ya. Terima kasih untuk semua yang sudah hadir. Sekarang saya akan memberikan presentasi sedikit mengenai kehidupan kuliah di Polytechnic University ini. Sebelumnya pertama-tama kenalin dulu, nama saya Michael Stanley Handoyo. Dulu saya CC 20, jurusannya IPA. Sekarang saya udah tahun ketiga di Hong Kong Polytechnic dan ambil jurusannya Civil Engineering. Oke. Jadi di presentasi kali ini saya akan berbicara mengenai background saya, lalu kenapa saya memilih Polyu, lalu ada juga kehidupan sosial di Hong Kong dan juga organisasi Indonesia yang ada di Polyu ini. Lalu juga ada makanan yang biasa kita makan di Hong Kong. Jadi ini adalah background saya. Jadi selama 3 tahun saya kuliah ini saya sudah menjalani beberapa pekerjaan yang diberikan dari Polyu juga. Lalu ada juga beberapa lomba yang saya ikuti di kancah internasional. Lalu selanjutnya saya akan berbicara mengenai kenapa saya memilih Polyu. Jadi yang pertama ini, alasan yang pertama saya memilih Polyu adalah lokasinya sendiri di Hong Kong ini Polyu termasuk yang strategis karena dekat ke daerah wisata, dekat di tengah-tengah kota. Jadi kayak makanan dan juga tempat-tempat wisata itu kita gampang dan juga dekat. Lalu kayak transportasi dan restoran-restoran di sekitar universitas atau di tempat tinggal kita di dorm di sekolah juga banyak. Lalu yang kedua itu adalah ranking Sipil Polyu yang berdasarkan QS tahun 2021 ada menempati ranking 21 di dunia. Dan yang saya baca dari infonya juga ranking sipilnya di Polyu juga naik menjadi top 1 di Hong Kong. Dan juga lalu alasan ketiga saya memilih Polyu adalah Polyu yang universitas internasional. Jadi dari pengalaman saya sendiri selama saya berkuliah di Polyu, saya juga banyak berkenalan dan berteman dengan teman-teman dari negara-negara lain seperti contohnya Kazakhstan, Bangladesh, India, dan lain-lainnya juga. Kita juga memiliki organisasi internasional di mana yang isinya adalah mahasiswa-mahasiswa dari luar negeri di luar Hong Kong. Lalu yang terakhir sendiri, Polio ada program spesial yang universitas lain di Hong Kong sejauh ini belum ada, yang bernama adalah Industrial Center. Jadi di sini ada practical training sama real work situation. Jadi kurang lebih selama kita di Polio ini, ada kayak sekitar 1 tahun kita mengikuti kelas Industrial Center, di mana kita diajarin untuk mendapatkan pengalaman-pengalaman yang akan kita lakuin di tempat kerja. Jadi sepertinya ini ada beberapa foto juga yang bisa kalian lihat. Ada aktivitas kita di luar kelas, ada praktikal, ada juga kita bisa mendapatkan opportunity untuk berdiskusi dengan profesor, di mana di situ kita lagi mengikuti lomba, lalu didampingi oleh profesor ya. Lalu seperti yang ada di foto lainnya juga, ada kayak beberapa kita diajarkan pengalaman yang ada di tempat kerja seperti gimana kita membuat desain gedung dan lain-lainnya juga. Lalu selanjutnya saya akan menjelaskan mengenai work experience. Seperti yang tadi Philip jelaskan, di mana kita harus bekerja minimal sekali ataupun 2 kali selama kita berkuliah di 4 tahun di universitas ini. Lalu kebetulan saya juga sudah mendapatkan 2 pengalaman pekerjaan yang saya lakuin di semester ini. Ada yang pertama adalah Civil and Environment Student Internship, di mana saya bekerja sebagai research assistant yang dilakuin oleh salah satu profesor Polyu. Lalu yang kedua, saya juga bekerja di nama company-nya adalah Alimak Building Service Internship. Lalu seperti yang kalian lihat sendiri, walaupun kita misalnya tidak bisa berbahasa Chinese ataupun Cantonese, bahasa Hong Kong, tapi kita juga bisa mendapatkan pengalaman kerja dan bisa bergaul dengan orang-orang Hong Kong yang dimana kolik-kolik saya ini semuanya adalah lokal orang Hong Kong, jadi kita juga mau bisa berbicara dengan Inggris dan lain-lainnya juga. Jadi karena juga kebanyakan company di Hong Kong adalah company yang internasional, sehingga mereka juga bisa berbahasa Inggris dan sudah terbiasa dengan berbahasa Inggris. Lalu selanjutnya saya akan menjelaskan mengenai Indonesian Student Association. Jadi ini adalah organisasi Indonesia, ya, organisasi yang terdiri dari mahasiswa-mahasiswa Indonesia yang ada di Polyu. Nah, organisasi sendiri ini memiliki beberapa aktivitas, seperti contohnya adalah Idonite, dan juga kita memiliki YouTube, HKPU IDSE, yang kalian mungkin untuk selanjutnya bisa nonton sendiri. Lalu kayak di acara Indonet ini kita menampilkan dan mempromosikan budaya Indonesia yang kepada orang-orang mahasiswa internasional, seperti kayak kita melakukan tari-tarian, kita mempromosikan budaya Indonesia dan makanan Indonesia juga. Lalu selanjutnya adalah mengenai social life selama di Hong Kong. Nah, jadi di sini kalian lihat ini kita juga selain berkuliah dan bekerja di Hong Kong, kita juga bisa ada seperti bermain basket. Lalu di foto yang di paling kiri atas itu adalah acara dari IDSE, Batik Day. Jadi kita di situ 1 hari kita akan memakai batik dan melakukan foto-foto di Hong Kong Polytechnic. Lalu di foto kanan atas, saat kita bermain basket dengan organisasi mahasiswa Indonesia di Hong Kong atau yang disebut dengan biasa PPI. Di situ kita juga bisa melihat bahwa banyaknya mahasiswa pelajar di Hong Kong, jadi kita jangan takut bakal kesepian atau gimana saat kita berkuliah ke luar negeri. Lalu yang terakhir adalah makanan. Nah, ini ada beberapa makanan yang kita biasa sering makan selama di Hong Kong. Jadi di Hong Kong yang kalian lihat juga ada ikan bakar di situ. Di Hong Kong kita juga ada makanan beberapa restoran di Indonesia, karena di sini juga ada banyak pekerja dari Indonesia juga. Lalu itu aja, sekian dari saya, mungkin selanjutnya bisa dilanjutkan oleh Sirus.
Halo, nama saya Cyrus Widya Chandra Mulia. Saya year 1 di Polyu, saya juga tadinya alumni sesi 22, jadi benar-benar baru datang ke sini kira-kira sebulan yang lalu. Saya ambilnya Applied Biology and Chemical Technology, itu masuknya ke Faculty of Science. Jadi seperti yang saya udah bilang, saya baru datang ke sini itu sekitaran 1 bulan yang lalu. Jadi masih banyak exploring tempat yang bisa dibilang lumayan luas. Jadi saya mau share mengenai pengalaman early life saya dan gimana proses adaptasi saya selama sebulan terakhir. Saya datang ke sini tuh kira-kira tanggal 11 Agustus, itu awalnya karantina masih 7 hari, terus dipotong jadi 3 hari. Jadi pas saya datang itu udah 3 hari. Jadi saya keluar karantina itu tanggal 14 Agustus kemarin, dan langsung ke Airbnb, karena bisa dibilang kalau misalkan lanjut lagi di hotel karantina itu lebih mahal. Terus mulai check-in, earliest check-in itu tanggal 18 masuk ke dorm, check-in dorm. Itu masih sepi banget, belum ada roommate, belum ada suite juga. Terutama di Homatin itu, kan dorm saya di Homatin itu tempat suite-nya itu modelnya bukan room tapi suite. Jadi di dalam satu suite itu ada 4 kamar, 4 kamarnya itu dibagi untuk 9 orang. Jadi 3, 2, 2, 2. Tadi yang kayak dibilang sama Mr. Philip, itu ada yang roomnya 3, itu tempat saya. Saya dapat yang roomnya 3. Tapi masih sepi banget karena itu baru benar-benar early check-in date. Kalau di Homatin ini tempat saya tinggal ini paling enaknya itu ada dekat sama MTR station, itu salah satu benefitnya. Jadi bisa dibilang kemana-mana deket. Kalau mau ke sekolah misalkan lagi malas, lagi capek jalan, itu bisa dibilang deket. Enak jadinya aksesnya. Kalau mau ke sekolah dari Homatin itu walkable juga, kurang lebih 15 menit. Jadi nggak susah juga kalau misalkan mau jalan. Kalau untuk student life-nya di sini itu bisa dibilang mendukung ya, karena kita tinggal di dorm emang difasilitasi untuk belajar, khusus untuk belajar, kayak ada study room, ada society-nya lagi yang untuk support kita belajar. Kita juga kan karena di dorm ini kita ketemu juga of course mahasiswa-mahasiswa lain yang niatnya juga mau belajar gitu. Jadi influence-nya buat kita sendiri itu bagus. Terus kalau untuk di kampusnya khusus, itu kita ketemu juga sama student-student baru, baik dari mainland ataupun dari local Hong Kong ataupun juga dari international student dari berbagai negara. Itu mereka bisa dibilang cukup welcoming sih, karena kita juga kan masih student-student baru, jadi mereka welcoming gitu. Kalau misalkan pesan saya untuk di Hong Kong, kalau misalkan mau adaptasi selama sebulan terakhir ini, ya itu salah satunya ya jangan suka untuk approach orang. Jangan takut untuk ketemu sama orang baru, kenalan, terus kita tanya-tanya jadi teman. Itu jangan takut. Karena selain itu penting untuk koneksi, itu juga bisa dibilang mereka nggak bakal approach. Ini kita semua udah mulai ngurus untuk diri kita sendiri-sendiri, jadinya ya kalau mau kita yang approach, kita yang cari teman gitu. Itu dari saya sendiri. Kurang lebih sharing saya itu aja. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Philip, Mr. Cyrus, and also Mr. Michael for your presentation. It was very informative, and thank you also to Mr. Cyrus for sharing his experience to know that in PolyU everything is great. All right, now we are going to go to Q&A session for 10 minutes. This first question is from Michael Andaru Wicaksana. Good afternoon. I have a question about hotel icon. Are students able to be employed full-time after graduating?
All right. Well, at least during their studying, they will be interning inside the hotel icon for at least 1 semester. But afterwards, of course, like it will depends on, well, limited, I guess, position openings. So, I mean, there are some people who graduated from SHTM, School of Hotel and Tourism Management, and will be working in Hotel Icon, but there are also other people who will be working for other hotel chains, Brands Hotels, Ritz-Carlton, whatnot. So there are different opportunities like that as well. So, but of course, the most important part is during your study, there will be hands-on training, that you're not just getting in theory-based stuff, but also hands-on training that you will be able to apply to your workplace. So.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. The second question is from Jason Kartasasmita. What is the top major that Indonesian students usually pick in PolyU?
Okay, that's interesting. Stanley, do you know?
Yeah, maybe I can answer it. So like maybe I can answer it in bahasa so make it more clear deh. Jadi kebanyakan orang Indo yang ada di Polio ini majornya kurang lebih engineering backgroundnya. Jadi bisa kayak mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, atau juga civil engineering. Tapi selain kayak engineering juga ada yang biasanya ambil kayak bisnis atau accounting gitu. Tapi kayak kalau mau ditanya kebanyakannya apa, kalau kebetulan di angkatan saya sendiri kita ada 6 orang Indo yang majornya semuanya beda-beda. Tapi satu itunya kayak ada engineeringnya semua. Kurang lebih mungkin kalau misalnya yang lagi banyak diambil oleh orang Indo ada kayak industrial engineering sih kalau di Polytechnic sendiri. Soalnya itu majornya kayak lumayan lagi bagus juga, masih baru, dan juga banyak orang Indonya kalau sekarang. Itu dia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer. The third question is from Moses Jaden Kwan. For internships, do students have to look for their own company or does the university have the reference?
Right. From my understanding, from either the student affairs office or from the faculties and departments, they have different resources for student to look for the right company for the internship. So obviously the students still need to apply and do the work, of course, like for say interview and whatnot. But there will be a lot of resources available for the students to look for the right one. Especially, we're looking to bridge the student with something that is related to their major. So not just like random, companies and whatnot.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. The fourth question here is from David Ventura. How much is the standard living cost for foreign students in Hong Kong? And how far is the campus from the nearest MRT or bus stops?
All right. So from campus, MTR or metro station, it's just right next to it. So it's really convenient. If you know about Hong Kong, we are right next to a place called Tsim Sha Tsui, which is the downtown of the Kowloon site. And from the MTR, you can take the subway directly to the Hong Kong Island side as well. So basically, you're really just right by the downtown. So it's really convenient. In terms of the standard living cost, though, I guess I'll refer to, well, Stanley, probably, because you have been living in Hong Kong, and so you probably be able to know more.
So like so far it's already around 2 years in Hong Kong, and maybe like my standard living cost is around 4,000 HKD, or if in Indonesia it will be sekitar 8 juta rupiah per bulannya. Sebenarnya bisa juga kurang dari itu kayak 6 juta atau 3 atau mungkin kayak sekitar 5 juta juga banyak yang bisa begitu. Cuman itu either pilih masak atau makan di luar. Kalau saya kebetulan nggak gitu bisa masak, jadi biasanya makan di luar. Kalau makan di luar ya kurang lebih segitu living cost ya, 4,000 HKD. Ya, itu cuman buat social life, makan sama transportation. Kayak dorm itu udah include dari luar sendiri, not include in the 4,000 HKD. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for those answers. Unfortunately, our time is up, and now we are at the end of our session. I represent the whole collegiums of Canisius. Would like to say thank you very much to Mr. Philip, Mr. Sayers, and also Mr. Stanley for giving their time and give us very important information about PolyU. I would also like to thank you, the audience, for sticking in with me until now. We will see you next time. Canisius Education Fair 2022 is sponsored by Astra, BCA, Bisnet, RS Primer Bintaro, Starbus, Gabungan Pengusaha Kelapa Sawit Indonesia, PT Kurir Mitra Duta Sentosa, Gramedia, Kompas.com, Sonora, Si Today, dan Liputan 6.